What's up, everybody? This is Kenny Cummins here of Chilling with Kenny C right here on TMVCafe.com, bringing you entertainment to your ears. Joining me at this time is a recording artist from Long Time Coming out of
Long
South
time coming.
Carolina. He's one of the new signees to the label. He goes by the name of Mr. Gray, and he's with me right now. What's good, man?
Hey, it's Mr. Gray. Everything's good, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for being on. Thank you so.
Excited to be here. Excited to be here.
So, first things first, shout out to Headliner, shout out to Colors, shout out to everybody representing Long Time Coming. As I pointed out in the introduction, you are one of the new signees to the label. So, with that being said, how did you, Headliner and Colors, link up? How did you end up being there? How did that came about?
So that's a long story, but I'll give you the abridged version, if you will.
Yeah,
I got to get to know a fella named Sean Treasy pretty well. You know Sean?
yeah.
Yeah. So we worked together at Terminex, and we were like in a sales class when we first met, and we just would hang out in the car and just started rapping. I put on some beats. Me and him were just going back and forth rapping, and it wasn't long until he set me up with some studio time with Jay. So I got in the studio with Jay, and I worked with Jay for several years before I actually signed to Long Time Coming. And I met Colors here or there. I did a song with them. And here in this last, I think it was June or July, I finally went ahead and said, let's do this thing. We signed a contract.
So, now that you signed, now that it's on the dotted line, how's everything going on with you since you signed with Long Time Coming?
Well, it's fun, man. It's fun. One of the first things I did was go in and I laid five different verses down for some of upcoming album for like the long time coming album. And of course, I've been working on my own stuff. I mean, I've been working on my own stuff for years, but whenever I signed with Long Time, I really started taking it a little more seriously. And instead of just recording songs on YouTube beats, which was what I was doing before, I started making my own beats and recording my songs on that. And we've been putting them out. I got four songs out on Spotify right now, with two more about to drop on the 26th. And I got a couple more in the bag that me and Jay are still kind of tweaking and getting just right.
So, talk about the this upcoming single that you got coming up.
So I got two of them coming up, but they're the main one that I'm pushing is called Greatest Rapper Alive, yo. And what it is an acronym of my last name, well, which is my rap name, Mr. Gray, Gray, Greatest Rapper Alive, yo. And I just have fun with that one. It's a crazy beat, and I just went to town on it. I put it up a couple of little short videos, a couple of little clips, kind of give the people a taste of what's to come. But yeah, that one's dropping on the 26th. And then I got another one dropping that same day called Life is Crazy. And it's a little more sentimental, a little more heartfelt.
All right, so be on the lookout for those singles, including his next one, which is just this weekend actually,
Yeah.
on the 26th. Um, so who do you consider some of your musical influences? Who, whether it's mainstream, whether it's local or independent, who's some of the artists that inspired you as an artist?
Man. Well, I grew up, it's crazy because I grew up not even listening to rap. My parents, we grew up listening to country music and a little bit of classic rock. I didn't even discover rap until I was a teenager. And one of my first artists that I really dug was Mace. I remember that was the first rap CD I ever owned, was a Mace CD. I really liked him. I like Biggie a lot. I like Eminem a lot. Busta Rhymes, he kills it. As far as like newer artists, I like a fella named Prof. He's a little more underground. He's pretty good. He's not really a newer artist, but I've always vibed with Tech Nine. Always vibe with that dude. Uh, shoot, trying to think. There's a couple of newer guys out that are killing it right now. Uh, one fella I've been checking out is pretty good. He's a younger fella named Token. He's like one of those speed rappers, you know. I like that speedy stuff. It's fun that you got to listen 2 or 3 times before you get all the words in, kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I've been here in my later years of writing raps. I've been kind of slowing down myself, kind of stepping away from the speed raps. But I still got a couple of them tracks out there floating around where I rip it up on the microphone. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And the speech styles, man. I remember guys like Twister.
Oh
I
yeah,
remember,
Twister.
yeah, I remember him and how he went with that path, and man, it's like you gotta have some strong lungs to
Yeah,
you gotta have some strong lungs to pull that off.
yeah, and you got to
Um,
practice constantly.
yeah, practice constantly. Like
Hmm.
you know, Tech Nine, shout out to him. Like
Hmm.
he's everything that he has done over the course of his career has been all him. It's been
Yeah.
indie, and he's got strange music, which is one of established independent hip hop labels of all time at this point. I
Hmm.
mean, and he does his own tours,
Yeah.
and he brings his artists with him across the country, across the globe, and he does it all independently, you know, and he's got the respect of the mainstream peers, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that
Tech
resonates.
kills it, man.
Yeah. I've gotten to see Tech twice, here in Lexington, Kentucky.
Awesome.
And I saw Ritz, I saw Joey Cool, I saw a plethora of the artists. Man, he's got a nice range of artists
Yeah.
that bring something different to the label. Um, so that's pretty cool. So man,
He's always throwing new people on too.
yeah.
He's always getting new artists to hop on songs with him too, man. That's I'm waiting for your call, Tech.
you know, I feel like in today's hip hop, anything is possible.
Right.
Um, you know, anything is can happen. Collaborations, surprise appearances, things
Oh
of
yeah.
that nature. So yeah, anything's possible. So obviously, shout out to Long Time Coming, shout out to Colors, shout out
Yeah.
to Headliner,
Headliner.
shout out to everybody, man. I just Shandu, shout out to him. I interviewed him recently.
Yeah, I just
He's
saw
up
that.
and so he's a good dude. Shout out to
Yeah.
him. Um, so with this year winding down, now you mentioned you got the two singles on the way. Um, could we expect maybe an EP or full length album going into 2025? You got anything in the works for 2025 as of this moment?
Right now, I've been just recording songs and releasing singles. Now I do got some ideas for some albums. I got one song that I've been working on that it's actually kind of a unique idea. What it is it's funny how it came about. I started off, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna start a book review channel. And I sat there and I was listening to it's one of my favorite book series of all time called The Gunslinger by Stephen King. And I was sitting there, I was listening to it, and then after I listened, I go and record myself kind of talking about it. And then I went back and started the editing process, and it got so daunting to me that I was like, I need to write a script, right? This is just too much. And in writing a script, I ended up writing a song. So I got about maybe close to 4 minutes of a song, Still not quite done. I figure what I'll do is I'll break that first book down into five different songs because there's five chapters in that first book, and that's the idea for an album, like kind of I'd say a shorter album because there's only five songs, but they would be massive songs, so it probably would still be a full length album, if not a double, you know. But that's something I've been kind of rolling around in my head. I want to release what I got of that single just to kind of see how it does, especially with the Stephen King fans. You know, see if it gets any traction, and that kind of will let me know if I do want to continue on down that path. But that is something I've been thinking about.
All right.
Oh,
So be on the lookout for Mr. Gray, Greatest Rapper Alive, Yo. That's the name of the next single coming out on the 26th of this month, this Friday. So you can pre-order it, pre-save it right now, especially if you're a Spotify user. And that definitely helps with the artist leading up to the song's release. Greatest Rapper Alive, Yo. That's the next single, courtesy of Long Time Coming Entertainment. So be on the lookout for that. So you represent you for South Carolina. You reside in South Carolina,
I do, I do.
um, and
Upstate.
upstate.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, South Carolina, you know, it's a different feel. It's a different
Mm-hmm.
vibe. Um, so how do you feel about, the raps, the hip hop scene there, as far as the sound, the artist that's out there, outside of Long Time Coming, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how you feeling about the scene out there in South Carolina, for as far as
I
from what you've seen?
I think that the overall vibe in South Carolina, you know, there's a lot of potential around here, you know, and there always has been. It's I've been waiting for somebody really to pop off just from around here. It's like the only person that really made it big in the world of hip hop that's from where I'm from is, you know, somebody that I don't even think raps, Charlemagne the God. You know, he's from
Yeah.
Moncks Corner, South Carolina, right where I grew up. You know, and but I remember I took a break from hip hop whenever I was in the Air Force. I wasn't really doing too much writing, and when I got out, I started working at Walmart. And there's this fella that I started working with, and his flow, it was so South Carolina. He just got me back into it, and I started writing again. And we even did a couple songs back in the day. This is back in 2011, and I thought we were gonna blow, you know. And I haven't talked to him for a couple years. I mean, here recently, going to the meeting of the minds and seeing all the talent just around here, there's a lot of people to really bringing it, you know. And I'm just waiting for whether it be me or one of my fellow artists, hopefully one of us from long time coming that'll blow up and kind of get some of our names out there in the mainstream because there is a lot of raw talent that can really do a lot of big things. It's just getting the eyeballs on us, you know.
Yeah, that's usually how it is. Getting the eyeballs out there. Um, Obviously, like, this is why it's important for fans and listeners to support independent artists like yourself and all the artists of Long Time Coming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just it's one thing to say, "Oh, I'm here to support." It's another to actually show that you support.
Mm-hmm.
And there are ways that you can support. You can obviously write the music. You can share the music on social media. Who knows? You might have someone in your family, friends list that might be into a certain genre or a certain type of music.
Mm-hmm.
And then, go into these shows if you're able. Now, we get that personal life gets in the way of going out and about. You know what I'm saying? That's understandable. You gotta handle take care of your kids and pay your bills and things like that. But If
Oh
you,
yeah.
but if you're able to support, even if you can't make it to shows, you can again share the flyers, share the information that's out there. Somebody else might be able to go. Um, so it's
Oh
very,
yeah.
very, very, very important to support these artists. You know, the more support they get, the more opportunities that might follow. But supporting that's very important. Uh,
Oh yeah.
so greatest rapper alive, yo. It's the news upcoming single from Mr. Gray, courtesy of Long Time Coming. That's coming up on the 26th of October. So we're gonna hold it down, gonna rep that hip hop, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
South Carolina, stand up. I got friends and family. Yeah, I got a sister that lives in South Carolina.
Okay.
Columbia, South Carolina, to be
That's
specific.
close to where I'm at. I'm up in Spartanburg.
Yeah, so Spartanburg, Columbia, and I also show a little to Georgia too, because
Yeah.
that's majority of our family out there in Augusta, Georgia. So
Yeah.
I think that's 3, 4 hours away from Columbia area, Spartanburg. So
Sounds about right.
but yeah, it's great to have you on the show. And before I let you go, man, where can people find you on social media?
So I'm on all the major platforms. Spotify seems to be where I get the most action. I got some stuff on YouTube. Um, the best way to find me is to put in James R. Mr. Gray the third. So James R. Mr. Gray I. And it's a little long, but whenever I was coming up with a good name for all these platforms, just Mr. Gray by itself, there was like 50 of them. I was like, well, what the world? How are they gonna find me? So I put my whole dang on name in there.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, so man, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. Um, Looking forward to this single and see what's next on the horizon for you and Long Time Coming Entertainment. And I'll definitely be tapping in to the new song that you have. So uh,
Thanks, man.
thank you so much, man, and keep doing your
Sure.
thing.
You too, man. Thank you.
All right, you have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thanks, sir.
All right, peace.